So hi everyone, for our video project we're going to be focusing on secondary education grade 11. Our subject area is personal development and our class is ethics and religious culture. Our focus will be on moral development. As listed in the QEP, education consists of constructing a moral reference, taking reflective position on ethical issues, and engaging in moral dialogue. We will be presenting our lesson plan as a day in the life as a teacher.
So for this activity, we will be breaking down a 60-minute class time into 3 parts. The first part, where the teacher will be explaining the lesson and explaining how to use Storify. The second part, the teacher and the students will be heading to the computer lab, where they will be building their own Storify pages. They will need 30 minutes in the lab. After that, they will all come back to the classroom, and in groups of 2, they will be discussing their Storify pages and reflecting on certain discussion questions that the teacher has provided for them.
Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to be learning about how to use a program called Storify. Does anybody know what Storify is? No? Okay, so Storify is a program that can be used to make a brief story about any specific topics using different forms of media. So it could be social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or it could be using the news as well. So I'm going to start by giving you guys a brief tutorial on how to use Storify, and then after that you will go to the lab and have 30 minutes to make your own, which will be part of a think, pair, share activity, which is right here. And then we're going to come back to class for the remainder of the period to do the pair and share part. You're going to be asked to choose a topic that interests you based on ethics and religious culture that has been portrayed in the media throughout the past 5 years. So it could be anything in relation to religion, classism, sexism, anything along the lines of that we have learned in the class in the past terms. Does anybody have any ideas for a topic that I can use to show you guys some tutorial?
I recently tried to go and sign up for the school hockey team, and although I have the skills to join, I was rejected because of my gender. Even if it's encouraged to be a co-ed team, there aren't any girls who are welcome.
Yes, Allison?
How about sexism?
Okay, that's a great idea. So we're going to start by sexism. Okay, so when you get onto storify.com, you're going to simply make a profile. I'm already on, so we're going to just start really fast. You're going to start by making a title. It could be anything along the lines of we're doing sexism, so we'll just do sexism in the media. And then afterwards, you can also enter a description. You can even leave that till afterwards before you get all of the stuff that you want to put in there. So on the sidebar, you have all different types of social media that you can use to find everything you want along the lines of what you're researching. So we'll start by using Twitter, because I'm sure you're all very familiar with that. We're going to start by entering in sexism. So let's see what we can find here. So this one seems pretty cool. It says, sexism aside, it's totally unrealistic to tell women not to walk home alone in the dark in a country where it's pitch black at 4:30. So I think that's pretty relevant, especially with our recent time change. So we're just going to drag that over onto our Storify. So then we'll go again to another one, maybe YouTube, because everyone's also really familiar with that. And right here, sexism in modern advertising. So that's also really great because everyone focuses on advertising and TV and whatnot. And then Google, that's also great. You can find an article and talk about it. So the Everyday Sexism Project, where it talks about a high school where sexism does not exist. So we'll drag that over there too. Okay, so does anybody have any questions? Yes, Ryan?
What's the point of this?
Okay, well, you all receive different information about current events at home, with your friends, outside of school. So what I'm trying to do is break down these stereotypes that you may already have. So I'm hoping that through this think, pair, share activity, you will be able to accept different viewpoints of events happening in the world through a multicultural perspective. Okay, so let's head to the lab.
I get made fun of often because of the way I act. My peers laugh at me and call me gay. I'm curious to know how others deal with my issue in different parts of the world. Hopefully, I can find the answers and deal with my own problems. I guess I'll do my storify on homophobia.
I get made fun of a lot at school because I wear the same outfit a couple times a week. I don't own any brand names or shop every week. What they don't know is that I have to work after school to help and support my family.
Well, I don't really know what to talk about, but I guess I can talk about religion. My parents are very religious, and they make me wear the hijab at all times. What they don't know is that I remove it when I get to school. I do this because I used to get made fun of and get stared at. People used to call me a terrorist.
After the lab activity, I brought my students back into the classroom to do the pair shirt part of the activity. So I paired them up in groups of 2 to ask them to reflect on these questions. Did this activity allow you to adopt a multicultural perspective? Please explain. What did you learn about your partner's topic? Did it break down or contradict any of the stereotypes that you have already built? And what are your experiences with discrimination? Do you feel like it's important to discuss these situations and current events like these in schools?
People come in all different shapes and sizes. It is crucial, especially in a multicultural society such as ours, that we do not hide our differences. We should never be reluctant to talk about race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, gender, and so on, in the classroom, and even though some of us may be uncomfortable with it. We will never change or grow as a society if we don't address the issues and normalize things that seem different to us.
That's true. I believe that as long as our classroom is safe and respectable and our students feel welcome, then it's the best place to talk about multicultural issues. And as teachers, we are trying to help our students develop their own identity, but also their race, their ethnicity, their social class, their sexual orientation, and their gender. It's a big part of who they are. And if we ignore it or push it aside, then we're doing them a disservice. And by not speaking up and asking them to critically examine their own prejudices, no one will ever change.
Thank you.
I hope you guys really enjoyed our video.